Boo! I am the Ghost, and I've always had a soft spot for Plants vs. Zombies. From the mobile games, to the shooter ones, to the card spin-off, I will always cherish PvC, not only for its great games and great memories, but because it was the start of my very early, and now dead, YouTube career. The era of PvC Williams Show. Now only a bygone era because of my laziness and because my BFN copy died on my Xbox. But recently, I got BFN back, and I started some builds that could help you be the most loved member of your team. Let's begin with the builds for the Plains. We begin with an attack character, one hated by many and mained by others. We have Nightcap. Nightcap can be interesting to play. This is a character with fast mobility, will have low health. With this build, you will get armor, will be invincible, and you will become the new sunflower of the team. I call this build the Invisivibe. What this build specifies on is basically turning your entire team invisible when throwing casting shadows. When throwing casting shadows, any plant that enters turns invisible. Now, when using the upgrade Incubate, you revive your teammates faster. When also using Refreshing Revive, your abilities will take less time to regenerate. I believe you understand me. Use this ability, begin reviving, get the refresh, and continue throwing casting shadows until either you die or you can revive anyone. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I die and people notice me? Sure, that might happen, but in order to prevent that, you have Clear Coating, which gives you a 50% armor when invisible. The whole idea of this build is to be invisible at all times, and to bring back your allies back to the battle. I recommend staying in groups and using your abilities for the rest of the team. That way, you will always have teammates in the field. Next is the Citron, a part of the defense class. Citrons are the team defenders. They can stun enemies, block attacks, and keep a consistent rate of fire with their juice cannon. What I call this build is the Payloader. This build is best used on payload maps. It can also be used in Turf Takeover and probably in Team Vanquish, but it shines while being used during payload maps, or segments such as in Turning Point and the first area of Tourist Trap Island. The way to use this build is complicated, but I'll put it simple, so here goes. First of all, we're gonna use the upgrade Quenching Cover. That upgrade gives us ammo when we block damage with the shield. When using kinetic energy, we get shield health when dealing damage. And lastly, with health regeneration delay, we start to heal faster. When using this build, I start by blocking damage from enemies when begin shooting until I get enough shield health, then I shield until I get my health back from the delay upgrade, and then I repeat the process. You have to defend, attack, heal, repeat. It's a 4-step process that usually seems to work, especially in payload, as there's usually enough points to heal while defending yourself. I recommend using this build when wanting to help your team push. Lastly, for the plants, we have the Sunflower build, which I decided to call Vamp Weed. The whole point on this is to be alive the entire time, and it's very easy to achieve immortality. By using Pocket Protection, you can heal your teammates, which will heal you too. And with Vampire Flower, you can also get healed by doing damage. Now we have Super Savior and Refreshing Upgrade, and we mostly have that to keep using abilities while reviving. Most notably, Sunny Side Up, which will deploy various healing songs to keep you alive. By reviving, you can get healing faster, and also get more teammates, which you can heal later. It all complements helping you stay alive for long periods of time, especially helpful on Turf Takeover, especially in capture points both playing defensive and offensive. This can also work in other game modes to keep helping your team. Not only is this upgrade helpful for you, but also for the entire team. I recommend it when defending against a strong team or wanting to help others while attacking yourself. We're gonna review 3 other builds for the zombies, starting with the Engineer. I decided to call the Engineer build Torrent Crusher. And it sounds a bit stupid, but the build works. The idea behind this is for your team to never stop shooting to the plants, and thanks to Heavy Helper, the job can be done easily. The first upgrade we're gonna need is Signal Amp, which increases the range of Heavy Helper. That will help some teammates get more ammo and more damage, as Heavy Helper helps reload and gives more damage. Following that, we have Breakthrough, which gives the engineer more range with his projectiles. That way you can also attack with your team. And finally, we only have space for 2 more upgrades. I decided to pick Super Savior and Refreshing Revive. This can help us to bring teammates back to the battle, and with Refreshing Revive, you will get your abilities faster. If all goes correctly, your team will be strong and won't have problem taking over the plains. This wizard build is kind of weird, but I think it worked just fine when I tested it. What I call this is Re-Elixir. The idea of this build is to use your elixir to be visible while you revive, and then get a bunch of health. The upgrades we use are all important, so hear it closely. First, you're gonna get Elder Alchemist, which gives health when using your Sea Elixir. Now to get even more health, you have to take Revive Reward, which gives health when reviving, and lastly, Super Savior and Refreshing Revive, just as the previous one. To get everything faster and to use your Sea Elixir when in the middle of a revive. And that's pretty much it. You revive, use your ability, and then redo it. And believe me, that it works great. This was the best build out of them all. This is the one that works every single time I tried it. We have here what I called the Dummy Star. What this build does right is spamming the Dummy Shield and reviving your allies while inside the Dummy Shield. That's it, but it works incredibly great. With the upgrade list, we have first and most importantly, we will take Starstruck and Injury Time to launch plants away from the area and to be able to revive the player without any interruptions. Lastly, the other 2 upgrades we use are Rough Patch and Refreshing Revive. Rough Patch doesn't really matter, I just have it here because there was a space left and there isn't any other 1-cost upgrade I could find. And Refreshing Revive actually helps, bringing all your abilities back, so that way, let's say you tackle a plant, it still has some health, you use Dummy Shield, you could get back the tackle and the Dummy Shield by reviving someone. I recommend everyone to use this build when you want to become the defender of the team. I guarantee that it will work. And that's the end of the video. I know it's something different, but I hope you enjoyed this. This is the Gamer Ghost, and I say, just don't use this in arena.